Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about alkenes and specifically polymers of alkenes. So we'll be discussing an additional reaction that alkenes can do in addition reactions particularly. This is not a section in your book. However, it's really important to your understanding of where you see organic molecules in your everyday lives, as polymers are natural. They're in our bodies and our DNA and our proteins in our body. They're in plants and cellulose. They're also something that is synthetically made to help uh, a lot of different things in the world, such as plastics, are polymers. So these are important organic molecules that we're going to talk about the synthesis of as well. So what is a polymer? Polymers are large, long chain molecules. By large, I mean they could be anywhere from like 200 atoms to like 2,000 atoms, 20,000 atoms. They can be massive, even bigger than that. These are made up of many repeating subunits called monomers. So mono, first half, mono means one, mer means a part. So a monomer means one part. A polymer, poly meaning many, many parts. So a polymer is just one part repeated over and over and over and over and over and over and over to make a long chain. So if you look at this picture down here, ignore the red boxes at first, and you'll see you have this chain all the way going through all of these boxes. This is our polymer. So it's a nice long chain molecule. In this particular example, we have a methyl group coming off every other carbon, and that is part of that small, I'm sorry about that, small subunit called the monomer. So each box that you see there is a monomer, each square. You see how they're all exactly the same and they just repeat over and over and over. These squiggly lines on the ends just mean that it continues on, and that's all you're seeing in the monomer or in the polymer picture that you're drawing. So let's look at an example. Polyethylene. Poly indicates many. Ethylene tells us what monomer unit we're talking about. So the name polyethylene says that we have many ethylene units over and over in a row. So ethylene is also, we call it ethene by our naming purposes as well. Those are synonymous. Ethylene is the common name for it. But those are just where you have the two carbons with a double bond in between them. That's it. So C2H4. When many ethylene units react together, the double bonds react with each other and they add into one another. And so you connect the ethylene units so that the double bonds are now connected. Those electrons go from being a double bond to kind of holding hands. It's like holding hands with yourself. It's a double bond. Holding hands with your friends is a polymer. Wow, that was pretty great, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. So in this particular case, you see the polymer chain, and it's just a carbon-carbon chain with hydrogens off of it. You see how you have C2H4 connected to another C2H4, to another C2H4, to another C2H4, over and over and over. And then let's look at what some of the natural polymers are. So as I mentioned a minute ago, we have polymers everywhere. So cellulose, so kind of the sugar molecules all together that form the like hard and the structure of plants is made out of cellulose. That is a natural polymer that you find. Starch. So many of you are very interested in nutrition. The starch and the sugars that you eat are also polymers. And then as well as protein and DNA are polymers. So DNA, you've probably studied in your biology classes. It's those same couple parts over and over and over, just in different orders. That's a polymer right there. And it's not necessarily a regular polymer or the same exact thing over and over, because obviously as the base pairs change, you have different attributes as a person or as bacteria or whatever you are. But that's also a polymer. And then some synthetic polymers that you see in your everyday life, currency. So you know how money is kind of like paper, which paper is also a monomer, but kind of like paper, but you can't rip it. It's hard to rip. It's because it's synthetically made a polymer, strong kind of plasticky-esque thing, and synthetic fabrics. So like moisture wicking fabrics or like raincoats are polymer based. Contact lenses, I'm not wearing mine today, but those are polymers. Those are soft plastics that keep their shape. And then also plastics, so plastic bottles, plastic wrap, a lot of things like that. Those are all polymers that are synthetically made. And then lastly, adhesives like super glue or for example, girls who get their nails done with gel manicures, where you put your hand in the UV light, that is a polymerization process. So next time you get your nails done, just think about chemistry is happening on my nails, and you'll know exactly what the chemistry is. We're going to stop right there for this video, and we'll pick it up on the next video. I'll see you guys there.